So this village that I went to, it's called the Shubael Pioneer Village, and it's in Cannelton, Indiana, right? And there's these cabins there that put you right in the early to late 1800s, all the way up to even the 1900s, because one of the last cabins to be built, but one of the first to be put there, is by the last name Falls, actually. And it's from Easton, Kentucky. And come to find out, my friend is related to this family of the Falls, right?
Wow, small world.
And she was telling me also about how supportive her family was growing up. And kind of similar to what you were saying, Matt. Very, very similar. And so we got that coming up next too. So first, let's just dive into where it all began. We went to the Pioneer Village, my kids and I. Matt had to work
I never
on the
get to go on the
weekends.
fun adventures with you guys.
So you got to like our podcast, share it and everything so we can get our numbers up and so Matt can quit a second job. And
it all depends on you, fans.
www.takemehome.house. And so we're going to first introduce Vance Hoppy, who's going to introduce the whole village and what they have there. It's quite interesting. Stepping into the 1800s. Here we go.
My name's Vance Hoppy. We bring the animals here to Shubael Little Pioneer Village. We got a miniature horse rides around, and my boys love it and ride around. Sometimes we'll trim hooves and teach about the animals. Shubael Little was put together by Chuck, and he wanders around here teaching people about all the history, any questions they might ask. And he just had a dream to teach about history, and so what he began to do is search out cabins that he would find in the area, and then upon permission of the family, they would disassemble them carefully and number all the pieces, and then they would bring them here to this property, and they would reassemble them piece by piece, and keeping them period correct. They would talk with all the families and dig up all the research they could with the families that originally occupied the cabins, and they would try to even include the families in presenting some of the information about their heritage, and so that's how they got started. As they started the project, they discovered a family graveyard of the family of Shubael Little down below one of the cabins here. And so that's how they named it Shubael Little Pioneer Village. And so they've got a lot of the family members there, and even some marked but unlabeled graves of some of the children that are marked with just simple rocks.
Wow. So then we went off, Matt, to go talk to Chuck, right? And here he was. He was like one of the cutest old men you ever could see. He's got these kind of rosy cheeks, and he has his pipe in his hand.
I think I saw the picture. Do you have a picture with him?
Yes.
By the blacksmith building?
Yes.
Okay, I did see him. He was holding that pipe. Yeah.
Yep. And he's got like this Davy Crockett jacket on. And all these pictures, by the way, you can see on our Facebook page and our Twitter and hopefully blog that's coming up. And all that's going to be put on our website as well, the links to as they gradually form. www.takemehome.house. And so, we got to talk to Chuck and hear a little bit of his personal experience with moving to this farm in 1948, then donating 33 acres of this farm so this could happen. And it actually brought a tear to his eyes to see how many people actually came that day to celebrate it. Hi, Chuck. What's your last name?
Payline.
Payline, okay. And you decided a long time ago, how many years? Just
98. This was my grandmother and my grandfather's farm.
Oh, okay.
And I inherited the land, and I donated 33 acres to the village. And we have a board of trustees, and we've built all these buildings for practically no money. We hardly get any grants whatsoever, and we depend on people like you coming to the village and paying a little fee for admission and eating some good food, and that's our income. That's it.
Tell me the name of the village.
Shubael Little. Shubael was his first name and Little was his second name. So this used to be a 99-acre farm. When my grandpa farmed this land with a team of horses, he never owned a tractor and never owned a car. And my father came here in 1948 and brought me and my brother and my mother to live here and help them farm. So that's how that part came about.
Doesn't he sound like the sweetest human being?
I did thoroughly enjoy hearing what he had to say about this, and it's really cool that he was able to donate that land and it turned out this way.
And with no money, all these people brought these cabins. They had to break them down and learn how to rebuild them and rebuilt them themselves. And then they have this reenactment of how they actually lived in those days. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed that I didn't get to go with you and see this history come to life.
Well, as a matter of fact, they do have other events coming up and throughout the year. They're working on their website. Again, it's all volunteer, I think, right now. So it's littleindiana.com.
I'm going to write that down.
Because it's Shubael Little.
So were there any other people that you met on this wonderful outing that you had?
So first we talked to Vince Hoppy, right? And then we went and talked to Chuck. But then I wanted to speak with this sweet lady who is holding this angelic baby, kind of swaddled with these blankets to protect the little girl from the sun. And I come to find out it's Vance's wife.
What?
Yeah.
Rachel?
Yes. And she had a lot to say because she was doing homesteading and homeschooling. Pretty much the pinnacle of a human being in my eyes because, you know, hey, I've always wanted to do both, but I'm trying to just do baby steps, right? Real baby steps. But first, I got to understand what it is by all of this. And I want to share this with everyone. So let's hear what she has to say. I think it's great what she's doing with her family, and I thought it was worth sharing. Here it is. I understand your husband said that you homeschool?
Yes,
Yeah.
we homeschool. We are in our third year of homeschooling. We decided that it was the best for our family. And honestly, at first, I wasn't keen on the idea. You know, I was going to send my kids to public school, and just because it was the thing to do. You know, in our community, the public school system is a focus. You know, and some things came up, and we decided that it was time. It was time to switch over, and it's been so beneficial for me as a parent and my walk with God in general because. Children have a way of bringing out the things that you need to work on the most, and patience was one of my things that I need to work on. And so homeschooling has really helped me in my walk with Christ. And as far as homeschooling with our three boys, when we're teaching, they're all three learning, regardless of what level we're on. If my oldest is learning about something, my youngest is learning about something as well. And so you really don't think they're like absorbing anything until later on you're reviewing and they come back and they know. And so as far as a family, it's been incredible. It's grown us so close together, and it's really about the hands-on, because I really think kids, they lose some of that experience sometimes, being in a classroom, and we have the freedom to go outside the four walls and really get hands-on and teach them what it really looks like. You can have the paperwork and the worksheets and stuff, but they're really not going to get it, and how it's really is. But as far as like our family, it's really grown our family, and I think there's
Being
a respect.
a family strong unit.
Yeah, and I think there's a respect there now for that you don't see a lot of times anymore between kids and their parents. I think there's that respect for us, as the teacher, and as they come to us for information, rather than relying on others around them or even their peers, And so I think that's really important for us, is they're coming to us, and we're going to be able to tell them, the truth about some things.
She was talking about homesteading and homeschooling, stuff that we've actually talked about in the past, so that was kind of neat to hear.
I know, we do have some previous episodes about both. I just like the fact that she was saying that she's learning as a parent through her children. And not everybody says that. I mean, I get it. I think everybody does get it. But how often do we really think about this? Like, how often do we really think, oh, our kids are reacting that way because we are teaching him this way, and that's how it's a reflection of us.